Hello, my name is Brianna Tittle, and this is my initial reaction questionnaire. The first question is, when you think of the term phrase dual language learner, what image comes to mind? Honestly, it could be anyone. For me, I work for Head Start right now, and I have a lot of Spanish-speaking students in my classroom, but dual language learners can be anyone. If English isn't their first language, which is most of the case, then they are dual language learners. The second question is, what challenges do you think DLLs experience in early childhood education settings? I think for me, like, as a teacher in the classroom, I don't know a lot of Spanish, but I do have a co-teacher that does, so I know their challenges with me is communicating with me and their English-speaking peers, because they don't have the vocabulary to talk to them or build that connection with others. Number 3 is, what challenges do you think ECE settings face in supporting DLLs? Like I said, my first language is English, and I do know some Spanish to communicate to them with a point, but as far as like having that bond and connection with them, because I do we don't speak the same language, it's different. But yeah, that's one of the biggest challenges, is having a really strong connection with them. What assets do you think DLLs bring to ECE settings? A lot. They've taught me Spanish, and they are teaching my English learners Spanish too, which is always awesome. Number 5, should DLL be taught in their first language, in English, or both in ECE settings? Why? We teach both. Like I said, luckily I have a Spanish speaking assistant teacher, so she does amazing at translating. Like if we're doing large group and I do it English, she will translate in Spanish to them too. But for the most part, my kids are pretty good at understanding what I tell them. If you were a parent of a DLL in an ECE setting, what type of support resources would you want for your child and or your family? So I would just like the communication from the teacher. I just had parent-teacher conferences, and a lot of my parents are only Spanish speaking, so for me it was important to get with my co-teacher and just relate, like come up with a dialogue of what I want to tell the parents, and then her convey that message to them, which my parents are always supportive of. But yeah, the most common thing is just what they want out of me as their child's teacher is just giving them both languages. Just having, like, if there's labels in the classroom, they're in English and Spanish, songs, just all of that support. I think most of the parents in my classroom really appreciate what we're doing with their children. What are some strategies and resources you think should be present in ECE settings? Instruction to help. One strategy that I use is using visuals. So I have visuals on my lanyard. And so, like, if we're being too loud, or like we're not having a good choice or a bad choice, this is what I use for them. Just because I understand better with pictures than me telling them or verbalizing. Lastly, in ECE settings, should the DLLs be assessed, screened using the same assessments and screeners used with non-DLLs? Why or why not? We use the same assessments to screen our kids. The assessment could be put in Spanish and in English, but if they're Spanish speaking, then we do the assessment in Spanish because their parents are Spanish speakers. So it is the same assessment, though. We don't differentiate the assessments because they can learn in English and Spanish. But yeah, that is about it. That's all I have for you. Thank you.